Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So, as I mentioned in a recent video in my fragrance personality tag, I am planning to do a wish list update. This is going to be my first for this year. And so this is what I'm doing today. I'm going to tell you what happened to the fragrances that I had on my wish list at the very end of last year, which ones I purchased, which ones I changed my mind on, etc. And then I'm going to update you on my new wish list. Now, before I start with that, I just want to say a few words. I want to thank you all for sort of welcoming me back, just amazingly, I was really touched how many people watched my update video, how many lovely comments were left, that you missed me. Thank you for your encouragement in, exploring other genres of videos to film, because I mentioned in that video that I was kind of thinking about doing other things, and many of you encouraged me and messaged me. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's talk about the wish list. So I'm going to start going through the wish list that I had at the end of last year. So basically my wish list for this year, and tell you what happened to the fragrances that I had on that wish list. So the first one is Followed from Kerosene. Now, I'm a huge fan of the House of Kerosene. I have Follow, which I love. And so when Followed came out, of course, I was very, very curious. But I wasn't going to blind buy it because of its similarity. I thought there might be a lot of similarity to the original Follow. So I had it on my wish list, but I needed to sample it first, which I did. And I talked about it in one of my videos earlier this year. I think it was one of the twins videos, or maybe one of the sampling videos. I honestly can't remember. So this fragrance has been taken off my wish list. I definitely prefer the original Follow more. For me, as strange as it sounds, Followed was a little bit too sweet. The sweetness in it was a little bit too cloying. And so I decided, no, I don't need it after all. Plus, the fragrance is so freaking beastly, like too beastly, if there is such a thing, I just decided I'm thrilled with Follow. I like it more. I don't need Followed as well. So that one is off the list. Next one that I had on my list is Gris Charnel Extrait from BDK. And yes, I purchased this fragrance. I sampled it last year, absolutely loved it. It is, in my opinion, so much better than the original Gris Charnel. It's the added smokiness that just makes this scent so special and so amazing for me. And so I purchased the full bottle. I've used it quite a lot. I think it was a great purchase. Now, I had two fragrances on my wish list from, and I can't pronounce this brand properly, but I'm going to try, Bottega the Victorious, something like that. It was Ardent and it was Bodacious. So Ardent is a scent that's very similar to Noir de Noir from Tom Ford. And Bodacious is a fragrance all about cherries. I got a chance to sample both of these earlier this year. Again, I talked about them in one of my testing videos. I think both are lovely fragrances. I will eventually add to my collection either Ardent or Noir de Noir. I think they're pretty close. Bodacious is a really lovely cherry scent. It's not the best cherry I've ever tried. I would like to have it in my collection, but I will not pay full price for it. I think the prices for this brand are just way too high. Plus, I would have to order it from overseas. Then you have shipping, duties, whatever. It just comes out to be outrageous. So if I find it somewhere for at least somewhat reasonable price, I will add it to my collection. but I will not pay outrageous price for this fragrance. Next fragrance that was on my wish list is Babycat from YSL. And I think we all know by now, I purchased a full bottle. Absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best releases of last year. Such an amazing vanilla, especially for colder weather. Smoky, deep, sexy, just, oh, so good. Amazing. Love this scent, loved it when I tested it, still love it, used it a ton. Amazing purchase. I don't know, is Babycat still difficult to find or has it become a little bit easier? I'm not sure, to be honest, but you know, if you can find it, I would definitely recommend trying it. It's amazing. Next fragrance that was on my list is Material from Amouage. And I've sampled this fragrance many times, and it has been kind of on my wish list for a long time. You know, I kept going back and forth. Do I want it? Do I not want it? Do I need it? Do I not need it? And I just couldn't decide. And finally, I made a decision. I tested it again. I've had quite a few samples and decants of this fragrance. I've sampled it again earlier this year, and I made my final decision about it. I've decided to take it off my wish list. It is just too similar to other fragrances that I have, and I just don't need this kind of repetition in my collection. So it's a beautiful scent. I enjoy it quite a bit, but if I ever feel like I really want to wear it, I still have some samples left and I can always get a decant somewhere. So yeah, I think that's going to be enough, but I definitely don't need a full bottle. Next one is Trajan from Altimus. And this one, yeah, I purchased it. I should say that first. This was a blind buy. And I know when I talked about my wish list last year, you know, some people said, no, you don't really need it. Too similar to Baccarat. If you don't like Baccarat, you're not going to like this one. For me, does it have Baccarat Rouge vibes? Absolutely. But is it 100 times better? Absolutely. I love this scent. There is something so amazing about it. Both me and my husband love it. We've worn it a ton. You can see a dent here. Beautiful. Just because you don't like Baccarat Rouge doesn't mean you're not gonna like this one. To me, although they have similar vibes, they are at the end of the day quite different. So I love this one. Next one on my wish list was Chocolate Queen from Navitus in collaboration with Gabby. I think at the time of me doing the wish list, this fragrance just came out, and yes, I purchased it. And I think I included this one in my current favorites because I have been wearing it so much. I really love this fragrance. I think it's such a beautiful spin on a chocolate scent. Has a lot of interesting additions to it. The nuttiness, the kind of almost melted chocolate quality that it has. It's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's a top-notch scent. I love it. Again, really happy with this purchase. So this is, again, Chocolate Queen from Navitus. Okay, there are two more fragrances that I had on my wish list last year. The next one is Blanc B from Liquid Imaginaires. And again, if you watched me for a while, you know that I got this baby as well. And amazing, beautiful, ethereal, kind of magical type of lactonic scent, out of this world. Again, I think this was one of my best purchases. Love it, can't live without it, worth all the hype. Anyways, enough. You can see that I love this scent. I use this scent and I'm so glad that I got it. And the last one that I had on my wish list last year was from Kayali, Vanilla, Royale, Patchouli. I don't know, there is a long name. I can't remember the full name, but I'm sure you understand and you will be seeing a picture here. If you watched me for a while, you might remember that I got this fragrance. I absolutely loved the scent profile. This was hands down my favorite Kayali scent by a mile. By a mile. I thought it was so interesting. It was complex. It was really nearing the niche side of things, you know. It was a little bit unusual. Gorgeous scent. And I was so thrilled at first. Unfortunately for me, I have a problem this problem with every Kylie scent that I have tried. Performance was just terrible, absolutely terrible. Even for that scent, which is kind of seems on a heavier side still. It didn't last. Projection was okay. It just didn't last. It didn't last on me. I tried it on my skin. I tried it on my clothes, whatever. No, it would not last. So unfortunately, I had to declutter that scent because as much as I loved the scent profile, the performance just didn't measure up. And so unfortunately, it left. Okay, so that's it for the fragrances from last year. Now let's talk about new fragrances that I've added to my wish list. And you know, when I looked at my list, and this is something I kind of keep throughout the year, you know, when I think about when I want something, I put it down on my list and then I come back and look at it after a while. And sometimes I change my mind and sometimes it stays on my list. And when I looked at what I ended up with at the end of the year, it kind of shocked myself a little bit. And I think you will be surprised as well. My wish list is tiny. I mean, tiny. There are like literally a few fragrances on it. So let's go through them. The first one I sampled earlier this year, talked about it in one of my testing videos, absolutely fell in love with it. That is Morphe Dumo. Such an amazing, delicious, sweet coconut scent. Amazing. Like it's not tropical coconut, not suntan lotion kind of coconut, but it's more gourmand coconut. Beautiful, beautiful scent. I have it on my wish list. I haven't purchased it yet. Can I? Yes, I know where to go and purchase it. It has to come from overseas. Again, I have to pay shipping, and typically shipping to Canada is ridiculous. Then there are always ridiculous duties. I just don't want to do that. I don't know. I don't want to do that. So I want to try to find it somewhere where I don't have to pay all these extra things, you know? I might succumb to the temptation and purchase it. I don't know. But so far, I'm doing okay. You know, I have it on my wish list. I'm on the lookout for it. If I see it somewhere, maybe even partial bottle, I'm totally okay with that, you know? I'm definitely going to get it. But yes, that's the scent that I want for sure. Another one that I sampled very, very recently is Narco Oasis from Narcotica. This scent came out earlier this summer. And when it came out, I was very, very tempted to purchase it. But I behaved and I didn't because very expensive fragrance, you know, even though the notes seemed like I would love them, I wasn't sure because you never know. And so I decided, no, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to sample it when I get a chance. And then I'm going to decide if I want it and if I need it. So I sampled it, like I said, a little while ago. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is gorgeous passion fruit with black currant, sweet type of scent. Fruity, sweet, summery, very creamy, smooth, gorgeous. Love the scent. Even though I have quite a few passion fruit scents in my collection, I love this one. And I do need it in my collection. Again, I'm being patient. I'm waiting. I don't have to purchase it right away. But eventually, it will come home to me. Next one. And this one is kind of funny. I wanted more just to have as part of the collection, which is, I know, silly, but that's what I want. And that is Xerjoff Herbal Gold. Now, I've known about this fragrance for a long time, but for the longest time, it was only available somewhere. I don't know, Selfridges or Xerjoff Boutique in Italy. I'm not sure, but it wasn't widely available. Well, now it is widely available, and I'm dying to have this beautiful yellow bottle in my collection to go together with my Herbal Pura. I know the fragrances are extremely similar. Now, I enjoy that scent profile. I use Herbal Pura all the time, especially in the summer and spring. And so I know that I'm going to use Herbal Gold. Is it a little bit redundant because of its close similarity to Herbal Pura? Yes, it is. But like I said, I need to have that yellow bottle in my collection. So when it becomes available on discounter sites, because I'm not paying full price, ordering from Xerjoff and again, paying duties, no. But I'm sure it will become available on discounter sites. When it does, I will purchase it. And that brings us to the last fragrance, or I should probably say collection of fragrances on my list. I am talking about all the latest releases from Navitus. Now, I'm a little bit, and I'm going to be, as always, completely honest with you. Please, I hope no one gets offended. I'm a little bit conflicted about these because, on one hand, huge respect to all the creators who collaborated with Navitus and created these fragrances. It's an amazing accomplishment, and I congratulate you, and I definitely want to support you. That's on one hand. On another hand, there are just too many. Honestly, it seems like every week there's a new collaboration and there's a new Navitus perfume coming out. I cannot keep up. It's impossible to purchase all of these. As much as I want to support these creators, it's impossible. And number two, I feel like in a way it has become a little bit less special, you know? Like last year, I remember when, Gabby came out with Chocolate Queen and Paulina came out with Venom of Love. Like they were sort of one-off. It was a kind of a special thing. It happened like, once a year for them. And it was just like, it felt a lot more special. Now, when everyone is coming out, like I said, it feels like every couple of weeks with a new fragrance. It just doesn't feel as special to me. Again, I mean no disrespect to these collaborators and creators. I congratulate them. But that's just where I stand with Navitus. So, am I curious to try these? And do I think I'm going to love these? Many of these, I think, because many of them are gourmands, I think so. But again, like I said, it's just impossible to get all of them. So which ones do I want to try? Because these are on my wish list to try, not to blind buy necessarily. Actually, most likely not to blind buy. Now, I'm interested in IS2 perfumes, what is it called? Ambrosia Imperial and the second one, which I can't remember. I'm interested in Sharita's vanilla perfume. You know how much I love vanilla. I'm interested in Gabby's new perfume, Baklava. Again, please, I don't remember all the names. I'm interested in Miel Extase, and I can't remember. I think it's Karina, something that released it. I've actually watched her. But I'm interested in try all of these, but I'm not going to blind buy because it's risky. B, I can't buy all of these because it's just too much. But do I want to try all of these? Yes, absolutely. So I'm adding kind of this collection of fragrances to my wish list because I definitely want to sample all of them this year and kind of decide for myself if there are any that are worth purchasing. We will see. So there you go. That's the end of my wish list update. Now you know what happened to the wish list from last year, and this is my wish list for this year. So as you can see, this is the shortest wish list that I've ever had. I really have 3 full bottles that I'm interested in, and then I'm interested in sampling these Navitus fragrances. That's it. Like I was shocked when I saw what I ended up with. But that just shows you, like, I'm happy with my collection. I'm okay. I'm content with what I have. Yes, I'm still curious about new things. And yes, there are a few that I still want to add, but overall, things are good. So please share with me, what are some of the fragrances on your wish list? How did you do with your wish list this year? Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe, and to comment. And I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.